In today's video, I am going to be breaking down the Pheonix Suns and their best plays they've used this year in the postseason. Let's check out their best plays. Okay, so how we're going to start is with the forward. He can be along the baseline. And on the baseline side, we're going to have three players at the free throw line and free throw line extended. We're going to have one of our best shooters on the outside, and then we're going to have our big man in the middle. We're also going to have a guard out on the far end as well. To start, what we're going to have is our big man setting a screen for the wing player over here. The wing player is then going to be cutting up towards the point, and the player who was at the point is going to be cutting down towards the corner. At this time, we're going to have Devin Booker, who was the good shooter. He was attacking the baseline, but now setting a back screen for Deandre Ayton's player. From there, Deandre Ayton's going to be able to pin that player along the screen, and then, of course, the alley-oop pass, which then won the game. So basically how this is going to work out is we're going to have a screen on player 4, and player 1 is going to be cutting down towards this corner. At this time, we're going to have player 4 using that screen. Of course, there's always that option for a 3, but that's not our number one guaranteed option, and I would rather not have that pass anyways. Next, we're going to have player 2 attack the baseline and then set a back screen for player 5, who is then going to be attacking the rim, and this will be a lob pass to him. Now, of course, if this was a player who was inside of that three-point line to key area, you can still send up this pass as well, or even do a bounce pass. This next play is going to be a sandwich screen up towards the player at the point. In this case is Chris Paul. Chris Paul is going to be able to set up this screen by, of course, always doing a killer crossover or some kind of a fake towards the opposite side of the screen that he's going to use. Ayton should have actually stayed up there longer, but because the hedging man was afraid of Chris Paul shooting that shot, what we have now is, of course, a pass out towards the corner. Of course, in this case, we had three different options coming off of that screen. And basically, after that sandwich screen, we had this side pop out to 3. We had the roller, then we had the weak side. Now, of course, the weak side is sometimes going to be open if his defender comes in and protects the key, which is what we've seen here. They didn't want Deandre Ayton to score, so the skip pass was out towards the wing or the corner, and of course, that three-point shot happened. Now, of course, this was all set up because we had a sandwich screen up top. Now, when that sandwich screen happens, player 1 can go either direction, but for the sake of the video, player 1 went and used player 5 as the screen. Player 5 then rolls towards the basket. We have player 1 chasing, and if player 5 hedged, we may have a pass into player 5. However, most likely what you're going to see is having player 3, he is going to be the one dropping off to try and cut off or stop that player cutting towards the rim. And in which case, player 1 has a couple of different options. He could pass to player 2 if player 2 red was in deep. He could pass to player 4 if player 4 was too deep. Or he could do what we've seen in the video, which was pass to player 3, the skip pass, which is sometimes a dangerous pass, but if he's wide open, he can hit that 3. Also, what else could happen is we could have a pass into player 5 if neither of these players helped out and defended the key. Now, this is another really good play. So Chris Paul started out on the wing. We had a player on the corner, a player over here in this corner, and then we have two players in the high post, or at least we had a player who started here who came down into the low post to set up this staggered screen. This is what we call a staggered screen. So after Chris Paul used that staggered screen, we had a player who used the baseline to then get screened by the player in the corner over here. He's going to be popping up. We then also have that first screener popping up towards the 3 and the second screener rolling towards the basket. Now, this is a great option because now we have one option for a 3, second option for a 3, and of course a player down in the low post. And of course this puts this player into a situation where he's defending two players. He doesn't know necessarily which way to go. Chris Paul makes that decision. Whichever player this defender decides to guard, Chris Paul will pass the opposite side, which is what we see here, and the dunk will pursue. So basically what we're going to start with is player 3 cutting down towards the key player. 4 setting that screen, player 5 setting that screen, and player 1 using that staggered screen. From there, player 1 will come off. Player 3 is also going to be coming off of that screen as well. And now player 1 will have a couple of different options. If there's a hedging player, and of course player 5 rolls towards the basket, we have that option. We also have an option out here for 3. Obviously player 1 could hit the 3 too if he wasn't defended. And then if player 4 sneaks down, we could have a pass out to player 5. It all comes down to where player 4 is going to be defending. If player 4 defends down low, kick it out to player 4. If player 4 defends up high with his man, then it'll be a layup or a dunk for player 5. I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball team and player, and maybe even a coach. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, go check out all of the equipment that I use down in the description below, and I will see you guys in my next video.